How many of you are dreamers? I hope every single hand is going up. I think I was born a dreamer. As a child, I spent my days barefoot in the fields with my parents and grandparents. We would tend fields, pick fruit, raise animals. That little farm was where my imagination came alive, where I learned the value of hard work, and where I discovered a deep love and respect for nature. It was simple, yet beautiful. And it's where the dream of being a mother, and if you can believe this, an attorney, took root. I'm going to share, with the permission of my children, my family, a very vulnerable story with you. I shared part of the story at that convention in 2018, and I shared parts of the story in Japan a few years ago. For weeks and weeks, I've been pondering what to share with you at this convention. And as I would sit down at my computer to write it out, nothing would come. I'd just sit and look at my cursor at a blank screen for hours. A week ago, I woke up one morning after going through my morning ritual, and I sat down at my computer, and the words came for the presentation that I gave to you on Thursday and for the presentation I'm about to give you today. And I was very surprised by what I felt inspired to share with you today. So I hope that I can honor my family and my story by sharing this with you in a different light, because when I shared it for the first time with you in 2018, I still carried a lot of shame because it was the first time that I shared it publicly. I'm no longer ashamed of my story. I'm proud of it. It's what made me who I am today. It's the reason that I have compassion. It's the reason that I love so deeply. And it's the reason that I have the grit, the determination, and the desire to dream bigger. Right after I graduated from high school, I got married. I was young, stubborn, and thought I had life all figured out. But just months into that marriage, my husband lost his job. So suddenly the weight of providing fell entirely on my shoulders. I found work as a certified nursing assistant in a nursing home. It was hard work. It was cleaning bedpans, spoon feeding those who couldn't feed themselves, giving sponge baths, and doing everything I could to preserve the dignity of people in their final days. I loved them, maybe a little too much, because the families would have to come and comfort me when they passed away. And then one day, while lifting a patient much bigger than myself, my back gave out. At the hospital, before they could even take x-rays, a blood test revealed I was pregnant. I was barely 7 months into my marriage, now living on workers' compensation wages and already struggling to keep up with rent and bills. But despite the uncertainty, I was overjoyed. I had always wanted to be a mother. That joy turned to heartbreak. At 37 weeks, I gave birth to a perfect little girl with dark curly hair and a heart-shaped mouth. Brianne was beautiful in every way, but she never took a breath. I went home with empty arms, my heart shattered in the cruel words that my husband had told me. You are worthless. You don't deserve my love. You aren't enough, echoed in my mind. I pushed forward. I worked to rebuild my strength, walking every day, even with my golden retriever nearly dragging me home. In time, I was able to return to work. And that's when I was hired as a justice court clerk for Judge Peggy Memmott. I thrived in that role. I loved the work. I loved being in the courtroom, loved connecting with attorneys and officers. But what impacted me most was Judge Peggy Memmott herself. She was the first strong professional woman I had ever seen up close, and she showed me what was possible. Watching her made me believe I could do more, that I could become more. It brought my dream of becoming an attorney back into full color. For a long time, I thought that was my future. But as the years unfolded, I came to see that while being an attorney was a noble dream, God had a bigger dream in mind for me, one that would reach far beyond the walls of a courtroom and allow me to touch countless lives. Six months after starting that job, I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy I named Cole. Every day of that pregnancy carried fear that my body would fail him in the way that it had failed my first. He was born healthy and whole and full of life. Woo! 3 years later, my radiant daughter Shamlin was born. And they filled my life with joy and became my everything. Still, the marriage continued to break me down. The physical and emotional abuse only worsened, and the words he spoke cut deeply. One day, the credit union came to repossess my car. And I remember standing there out on my lawn with tears streaming down my face, begging them to give me one more month to make the payment. That was my rock bottom, my most vulnerable point. That night, my 4-year-old looked at me with eyes far too wise for his age and asked, "Why do you keep letting Daddy hit you?" In that moment, I knew I couldn't keep living that way. So with $26 to my name, I left. I chose myself. I chose my children. I chose faith that something better was ahead of us. In those dark years, my light was nearly dimmed, almost extinguished. But purpose has a way of reigniting us, doesn't it? And with each season, I found new purpose. My light began to shine again. Life began to change. I found better paying work, a place to grow where I felt safe. Then, as I shared on Thursday, through essential oils, my path opened up to something greater. Oils were unlike anything I had experienced, pure, powerful, created by God for our benefit. They became the spark that set my soul on fire. And in the middle of it all, I found Corey. He was everything I didn't know I needed and so much more. Together, we were able to build the family we had always dreamed of, as he made Cole and Shamri legally and eternally his. Then joined Keaton and Ashlyn. And that family now has expanded to include Carson and Brooke and 4 beautiful grandbabies. For 25 years, Corey has been my rock and partner in every dream. I don't share the hard so you'll feel sorry for me. I share it because we all face hard, and it is what we do with it that defines us. My values took deep root in those years, unshakable, uncompromising and ready for the next door God would open. And that door was doTERRA. And a conviction for purity. I invited extraordinary people to join with me in that dream. People who made me better, who chose to dream with me. And together, we built something unlike anything the world has seen. Purity of essential oils, purity of purpose, purity in how we treated people. I've worn many hats over the years. I've been receptionist, I've been janitor, I sourced oils, I've taught classes, I've headed up leadership development, marketing, I've served as your president. And most recently, I have the privilege of serving as your chair of the board. It has been an honor and a privilege. Last month, I passed the honor of chair of the board on to David Sterling, an extraordinary human being. Isn't it good to have him home? We've missed him, and he will serve you well. Each role has stretched me, but nothing has meant more than the connections I've built with you. I've prayed for you, cheered for you, fought for you, celebrated with you, wept with you. I have loved you with a soul-deep love that will never, ever leave me. And through it all, my values have remained the same. They are unshakable and uncompromising. They are what have guided every decision I've made. And they are the reason I have always been willing to step away rather than compromise what I hold dear. I look at those values lived out together and what they have been able to allow us to create. What started as a small dream has become a magnificent global work, blessing and changing 13 million lives in 159 countries. I want you to ponder that for a moment, because it's easy for us just to see these numbers on the screen and not really understand what they mean. 13 million families changed in 17 and a half years because a dream was placed in a heart, in your heart, and you refused to give up on that dream. And because of that, families have been lifted. Women have found their voices. People have created unbreakable bonds of friendship. Communities have been strengthened. Healing has reached places I never imagined when I began. That rock bottom moment that I had, as I sat pleading for the credit union not to take my car, when I was so vulnerable, there was something that was placed in my heart that day to say, never will you be this vulnerable ever again. And somehow, some way, you will find a way that other women won't have to be vulnerable either. With every new season comes an invitation to see things differently, to shift our lens, to ask ourselves, has my why changed? Is expansion needed? Do I need to think bigger? Does my focus need to change? Sometimes change is the very thing that frees us to expand, to grow, to create something even greater. You and I, we get to be the authors of our own story. That is our right. We get to build our own future. And that is freedom, my friends. That is empowerment. That is the divine gift of choice. Yes? constantly evolving and expanding. We never stay the same. And so maybe this event is the time for you to reassess, where are you? Do you need to expand that dream? How do you show up differently? And as women especially, we are rewriting what it means to lead, to nurture, to create. And if this is what has already been built in 17 and a half years, then I have to ask you, what else is possible? What doors are waiting to be opened? What new lives are waiting to be blessed because you are willing to dream bigger, to reconnect with your purpose, and to rise into the next season with boldness? Sorry, I've had a dry mouth. You've made me so nervous this year. 19 months ago, my operational role at doTERRA came to a close. It's been hard to learn how to cheer from the sidelines when I've always led from the front. But that season, thank you. But that season gave me time to ask big soul-bearing questions. Who am I beyond my title? Who is Emily without the stage, the makeup, the position? Will I still shine? I've learned to love myself, all of me, the quirks, the insecurities, the stubbornness, the relentless pursuit of doing big things, all of the things that have made me who I am, and even when I did not realize the power they gave me. That season also gave me the chance to be more fully present with my family. Such a priceless gift to watch my daughter finish her basketball career, to gather eggs, pick raspberries, and savor tender moments with my grandkids that I might have missed otherwise, to support my husband's new ventures, and to serve in my local community. And I've realized my story isn't finished. And neither is yours. We're all in a season of becoming. So I'd like to do something together. I'd like for you to pull out your phones for me. And I'd like you to turn on the light. And if you will, hold your lights up high. If you've ever been told you're too loud, you're too much, you don't fit in, let me turn off your light. Wow. If you've ever been told your dreams are too big or unachievable or ridiculous, turn off your light. If you've ever been told you're not smart enough, capable enough, pretty enough, skinny enough, turn off your light. If you've ever told yourself that you're not worthy of success or love, that your season in the sun is over, that the success that you see on the stage is for others and not for you, turn off your light. If you have ever questioned your self-worth or your ability to help others, turn off your light. If you've ever wondered if you have the ability to lead others, turn off your light. If you've ever felt not enough, turn off your light. Look around. This is what happens when we believe those lies. Darkness spreads. We become unable to see ourselves or the people around us with the clarity we need in order to create good in the world. What is the only thing that permeates darkness? Yes, only light can cast out darkness. But now, if you felt a stirring in your heart this week, turn your light back on. If you're tired of feeling small or living down to others' expectations, turn it on. If you're ready to stop being comfortable, stop settling, turn it on. If you are ready to trust yourself and what you know to be true, to take up space, to live boldly, turn it on. Do you see it? Look around you. Together, you are a galaxy of light. And this is who you are. Magnificent by design, limitless, cherished, and loved beyond measure. Do you feel it? A fulfilled life requires courage, bold faith, passion, purpose. But hear me. Your gifts are not confined to one role or season. They evolve. They expand. Every transition is an invitation to trust the very wisdom that created you and to shine in new ways. So let go of the mold you think you're supposed to fit. Let go of other people's judgments. Let go of the need for validation. Instead, embrace what can be. Embrace who you are becoming. Embrace your wildest, most unrealistic, impossible dreams. Embrace your new season of strength with the wisdom of your yesterdays. You were created to spark change, to make the world brighter, to do the extraordinary. Surround yourself with people who celebrate and know your worth. Do not shrink so others can tolerate you. Playing small has never served anyone. Playing small never created joy. So shine so bright you cannot be ignored. Know your worth, know who you are, and remember whose you are, and spread those beautiful wings and take flight. And in doing so, you'll give others permission to do the same. I have been so touched by your stories this week. Thank you for coming and hugging me and sharing with me your journey, letting me know what you've been through. I had a woman that caught me on the street last night as we were going from party to party. I'm pretty sure I got the most parties in last night. 11. Did anybody else get 11 parties in last night? But she caught me on the street. And she just looked me in my eyes and said, Emily, doTERRA gave me my life back. There are so many people out in the world struggling, suffering, who lack hope. I think you felt a shift this week. I hope that you felt that stirring in your heart. I have loved how ever present God's name has been on this stage this week. When people come to me or to Dr. Dr. Hill or to Dave Sterling or any of the founders and give us thanks for doTERRA. I want you to know that we know that doTERRA is not our company. doTERRA is his. And because of that, it will continue to do legacy work through you. It lives in your hearts. And I know doTERRA will forever be in good hands because of that. Never forget whose work we are doing. My friends, my family, you have my heart. Always know how deeply I love you. I believe in you. I see your infinite worth. And I know you are here to do the extraordinary. And even as my seasons change, my love for you does not. And when you shine, it won't just change your story. It will light the way for countless others. So please, shine bright, my friends. Shine so extraordinarily bright. I want to close with a quote from a man that I have the utmost respect for. There's so many quotes going through my mind right now. It's like, which one do I use? There's a quote by a man by the name of Jeffrey R. Holland. Forgive me if I don't get it exactly right. But he said, God is anxiously waiting to answer our prayers and to fulfill our dreams, just as he always has. But he can't if we don't pray, and he can't if we don't dream. In short, he can't if we don't believe. Believe in what you are able to do. Open up your hearts, open up your arms, and go out and love on people and shine so bright that you can't be ignored and let's permeate through this darkness. Goodbye, my friends. I love you.